Hi, welcome to Truth Arise. I'm glad you're with me today. I've got something I want to share with you, and I just think it's going to help a lot of people. A lot of people. And this is something I've personally gone through. A lot of people are asking, why are you suddenly posting? You only just kind of spot posted in the past and what have you. Why are you posting now? Well, I'm going to tell you. It's because I lost my connection with God for a long time. And now I've got that connection back. And this is what He has asked me to do. And I don't care if it kills me. I'm going to do it. So let's go a little bit of background. I'm going to explain my whole process here. I got sick. And I was sick for 10 years. The doctors basically said, because I had a team of doctors, they basically said, there's nothing we can do. Nothing. In fact, your body's going to start shutting down. Your organs will start shutting down first. And once your organs start shutting down, you're over. Now, I added the you're over, but I shortened it. But all we can do is eliminate your pain. So I was on 5 methadone a day, 125 micrograms per hour of Duragesic patches, 1 for each arm, Oxycontin, oxycodone, trazodone, 450 milligrams of trazodone just to get me 2 to 3 hours of broken sleep a night. That's it. That's how much pain I was in. And so I'm heading to, I'm not going to be able to live very long. And I know it. And I remember going in the front of the yard. The backyard had, my family could see me, and I just sat there and I bawled because I knew they wouldn't see me from there. And I just remember thinking, this is, it's over, it's over. Now, by that time, I had worked 8 of those 10 years, but at that time, I was completely retired. It was everything I'd worked for in college, everything I'd worked so hard for. It was over. But you know what? When there's no hope, there is one great hope. And I remember the day of the prayer, and I'm going to share that with you at some point. But that isn't the gist of the day. And so I was healed by prayer. It wasn't by a man's prayer. It was by my prayer. And immediately I started pulling off patches, and by the time I went back to the doctor, I was completely off everything but the Maxilitine, which they told me never to go off of it alone because it could be very harmful. So I was already off of that. Within 2 weeks, I was done. Anyway, we'll go into that later. So suddenly I'm afire for God. God healed me. All the enthusiasm. Preaching different places, going different, you name it. I was going and doing and what have you. And then God gave me this job, I thought. Well, I'm sure He gave me the job. It's just I stayed too long. Anyway, and that was a great job. I remember walking out one evening. I used to run GED and English programs for a county and then 2 counties in the state of Tennessee. They gave me a 2nd county. Anyway, and I remember I went out one night and had 2 students there, lay hands on one of them's healed. Both of them end up getting saved that night. And I'm thinking, yeah, God's in this. But then eventually, I'm working all these nights, 12 to 14 hour days, 3 to 4 nights a week, because you have people from the pen that were released and you have people from the jail that were released. And so I've got just 2 to 3 people in the building, and I'm thinking, what if one of my teachers gets raped? What if somebody hides in that bathroom over there and ends up raping one of them or killing one of them? Will I ever be able to forgive myself? And I thought, no, I can't. I could not forgive myself. So I just stayed like an idiot. But anyway, the next thing I know, I'm not really praying anymore, but I don't realize it. I'm just too busy. I'm like a hamster on the wheel, running as hard as I can, and thinking, God's with me. Nope. It won't last forever. You cannot run on that wheel. You cannot. So, and then there's constant attacks. If you try to do the right thing, it doesn't make a difference what you do. There's going to be people that are going to hate you. They're going to falsely accuse you. They're going to lie about you. They're going to do anything they can to validate their hatred toward you. And that's what they do. That is the desires of the heart. That is the satanic way. That is exactly what Satan does. And so little by little, I get pulled down to where I really don't have a relationship with God. But you know what? It's so slow, you don't even realize it. You just have no idea. So anyway, I went 2 years and 11 months without even having to go to the doctor, which was a record for me in my entire life. I think I've been like every 2, 3 months, 6 months, it seems like. But anyway, 2 years, 11 months, I got the pride thing. I started like I'm one of God's special people type deal, and talking about it and bragging about it, and that giving glory to myself and God, but giving glory to myself more than anything. And then the next week I get the flu. But anyway, so my wife says, look, Darren, you used to walk in divine health. And now you're having your second knee replaced in 3 years. And it hit me when she said that. And she said, Darren, I want you to spend time with God after this next knee surgery. So you know what I did? I spent time with God. And that's the reason I'm doing these videos right now. I've been spending time with God. I've got that fire coming back. I can feel it. I'm getting a message like it's so many messages I can't keep up. And I've got old messages that I've just put a couple lines down to remind me what they were. And I've got messages upon messages, and I can't keep up with God right now. He's going 100 miles an hour, and I'm going about 80. Anyway, I'm trying. I have no platform anymore. This is my platform, and therefore I'm going to glorify God on this platform right here. But anyway, I want to tell you about 2 corrections that God gave me during this process, because I had to learn how to pray again and everything. I said, God, why don't you talk to me anymore? You know what God said? And very rarely does God talk in an audible voice to me. He said, why don't you talk to me anymore? And then it hit me. Oh my gosh. I have mastered the surface prayer. You know, the prayer that really doesn't go to God. It's the prayer like, thank you for the food, blessed the nourishment of our bodies, blah, 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 blah. It's over. You say it almost every day. You know, God, thank you for this, and moving on. You know, you're just checking the box. You're not connecting with the God of all the universe. You're not even connecting. You're just basically saying the words. It hit me. And then about a week after that, because God has to hit me between the eyes. Hard head, don't listen very well, evidently. But just right after that, he said, am I not enough? And I realized that I was basically chasing my tail in life, because there's nothing else but God. That's it. Everything in this world, everything's going to burn. It's all chaff. This master's degree over here, it's going to burn. It don't really make a difference. It's not going to get me into heaven. God's enough. He is everything. He is all in all. He is the great I am. And so with those 2 corrections, it set me on a totally different path. Totally. Now here's what my whole gist on this. I want you to have that same spirit. I want to kindle that fire in you that it has inflamed me. I want to bring you with me on this, because I know how it is when people get excited about God, to get excited together about God, they are all in and they hold each other accountable. Now, if you like this, do me a favor, you share it, because I can tell you, If this helped you, it will help other people. So share it, like it. Let's get it out there, because we're going to take a journey together almost on a daily basis, or every 3 days or 5 days, just when I get a chance. And I just want to thank you for joining me today. I don't take for granted that you gave me your time. Thank you.
It would be an honor if you would subscribe to the channel, like, and share this video. Thank you.